everyone, Hybrid here with a quick reminder before we get into this video that I'm still doing my Toys for Tots raffle. That's right, I'm raffling off all these cool prizes to get some funds together for a big Toys for Tots shopping spree. We're going to pick up a whole bunch of toys, get them put in the donation bin, try and make a bunch of kids' Christmas extra special this year. So check the video linked in the description down below to redirect you to my main video about this. I'll get you more information on how to purchase in. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're taking a quick look at the Star Wars The Black Series Mountain Trooper. It's a little bit of a throwback, but not on Thursday. So this is part of the Galaxy's Edge limited run of figures. This was part of a multi-pack that you get at the park, but when the parks were closed during COVID, certain figures were sold separately from the multi-packs at Target. It was kind of like a Galaxy's Edge themed end cap for a couple of months there. They got some really cool figures. This is a first order trooper variant, not seen from the movies, and I don't believe they're even in the parks. Maybe outside. I've never been to Galaxy's Edge, but I know that, you know, they walk around in first order trooper armor, not mountain trooper armor. I think that they are referenced in some of the books that are revolving around the story of Galaxy's Edge, and maybe they're in some like footage that they might show you on some of the rides, but I don't think that there's actually any physical uses of this armor in the park. So it's kind of a bit of a niche design, but a really cool one. That said, let's go ahead and get into the review and see if this is a good pickup for you. Alright, here's the First Order Mountain Trooper in the packaging. Now, this is the packaging that the red and black line was, with some modifications. It has your transported from Galaxy's Edge logo there, and it has different coloring. It has a neat, you know, kind of weathered side going on, and otherwise it's still black, and it's got a very dark, kind of like brown striped background going on. But it's the same packaging style, so a lot of the design motifs should be familiar to you. You have a Black Series logo up top, above a big window showing him and accessory off nicely. You have artwork of him, Mountain Trooper Warning 4+, also sorry for box condition. I got him for 15 bucks in box, but beat up. This side of the box features your Galaxy's Edge Trading Post logo, Mountain Trooper, a First Order symbol, and a really nice kind of just roughed up painted deco texture going on. It's kind of cool. Got a wraparound window, your Mountain Trooper name written up the sides. Around back, you have your Black Series logo, a zoom in of the art on the front, and then a bio about him. Pause and read whichever language best applies to you. A bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode, legal stuff. Up top is just a hanger tab. Very standard packaging stuff. Nothing to write home about. So with that said, let's go ahead and see if this is a good figure. So here we have the Mountain Trooper out of the packaging. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at his accessory. He comes with a unique blaster. I don't think we've ever seen this one in the line before, and it is really, really cool. Admittedly, it looks a lot more Imperial than First Order. It looks very classic Star Wars. It looks like a old real world, you know, some sort of World War II machine gun or whatever. This had some bits and bobs, you know, stapled onto it. But it's alright. It's in a nice dark gray plastic with actually what appears to be just a subtle hint of dry brush over it. It has a lot of the flash holes along the barrel, with a side-mounted clip, a side-mounted flashlight, a scope up top, and then a stock that's on like a singular post. And this gun just looks super cool. I do really like it. Doesn't look First Order, like, at all. But I guess if these guys are supposed to be like the First Order Stormtroopers, more rugged outdoorsmen, like cousin or whatever, like this fits the look. So I do like the blaster. Looking at the design, you know, the thing that I think I like most about the design is it's like the First Order's equivalent of a shore trooper, where, and I mean, like once you hear it, I'd like to think that you can't unsee it, but you know, you've got like actual pants going on here, you know, with some like thigh flaps going on. You have a shore trooper-ish helmet, you know, with some First Order aesthetics. Like you seeing what I'm seeing? The big forehead plate, the kind of like mouth area shaping. It's just very, it looks like they said, you know, shore trooper, but First Order it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like the idea of there being some continuation of that design from eras. And so, like, all in all, as far as like a design goes, it is really cool. So he is in a light gray. He's not quite white, you know, there's a gray to it. and it looks really good. It's got a lot of gloss going on, but he's also got a lot of like smeary, like scuffs, like muddy, splatters all over him. It looks pretty good. I do like how the deco's been applied. It is weathering, but it's not like a full-blown wash. I don't particularly mind. I do like the red shoulder. It just breaks it up a little bit. It's a little monochrome without it. Some really nice silver going on around the helmet, though, around the mouth, and just a band around the visor. A lot of just nice plays on older designs, like the ring on the back instead of the ring and the two lines for the Stormtrooper armor. And it's just really, really cool looking. I'm just looking them over and just liking what I'm seeing here. But it's got just a lot of cool design aesthetics. He's got boots with hella straps going on, and the always required canister grenade on the back of the belt. He's got the First Order like ribbed bodysuit going on underneath, and then the kind of like textured pants, and it just looks oh so cool. Yeah, it's basically just a First Order shore trooper, like nothing super insane, but just a really cool design. There are certain things on this figure that show its age, and this is a throwback, so like it didn't show its age at the time, but it does now, such as your double pin knees, and there's a lack of butterfly joints. Although, the shoulder pad goes up in there, and it looks like there should be one. There's room around it, but it just straight pegs in. There's no butterfly joints to be had. So, that dates it a little bit, but it's still a relatively cool figure, and one that I was really glad to have. We'll run through the articulation. Something worth noting is he has this, like the back, lower back, like armor, like ridge thing going on there. And it really hinders that articulation. When you want to, like, go back, it kind of has to push and then go up and over. You see how it kind of pops? And I'm not sure how I like that. Maybe if you turn it, yeah, and then you turn it, because like it'll give you more arch back. And then there's, a decent, it feels like it's very stiff in there. And I don't know if that's just my copy in particular and tolerances or however, but it's just how he turned out. So I guess to run through some articulation, this is going to be slightly dated, but there's a hinge on a ball for the head. Allows him to look that far up, which is actually better than a lot of them with the double ball system, not gonna lie. He can go that far down, bury his chin, which is cool. He has some side to side and a bunch of pivot in there. His arms, as I showed, you can raise them to a T-pose. The shoulder pads kind of have to go in. Shoulder pads are also rubbery, so this is pretty nice. No butterfly joints, with 360 at the shoulder, with single jointed elbows that go just to 90, or maybe not, like 89, not 90. It's unfortunate, but there's a swivel there, and that's all right. 360 on the wrist with the left hinging in and out. Very stiff, though. And then the right hinging up and down. Just not a huge amount of tolerance in there. As I demonstrated, you have to push it really hard, but you can get him to crunch that far forward at the waist, and then that far back, which is nice. And then, of course, there's all the swivel and some pivot in there that you could ever ask for. The flaps on the sides of the belt have these big heavy pouches, and it's kind of like the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett, where it really beefs it up. So when you go to bring the legs out, it's about how far you can go before, just the stiffness of the rubber really gets in the way. He can kick basically straight forward, not much back at all. There's an upper thigh swivel going on in there. Double jointed knees can go that far, which is pretty nice. And then the feet can point basically straight down. A little forward, you can push it a little further forward if you don't mind forcing it, and that's not bad at all. And there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get him in some decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. And yeah, again, it is very much a figure from like 2020, and that is, or 2019, 2020, and that's okay. I don't mind that. I know that some absolutely will not touch anything from that era, and that is your loss. There are definitely some gems in the mix, but it's just how it goes. To do a quick size comparison, to show him next to Commander Pyre, who was also in this line, and also just will represent a First Order Stormtrooper because he's a normal size one. As you see, they are rocking at the same height. Here's the First Order Flame Trooper, also basically rocking the same height. So yeah, he's basically just one of these 6 inches, more or less, on the dot figures, and it's alright. I do like how he looks. And, there's some similar design aesthetics going on, especially like the mouth lines, where yeah, I can totally accept that this is like this army's version of a shore trooper. Ultimately, I like what we're getting here. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the First Order Range Trooper? he is a really, really cool design, and I do really like it. I don't have the same attachment that I do to some other First Order type designs, just because, you know, not in a movie. It's just, it is what it is. But he's a really cool design, and one that I'm super happy to finally have on the shelf. I do think I need to grab a second one as well, just so that I can ultimately, you know, have the pair, because you know how I like to army build. But I think that it's a really cool design. The figure's a little dated. He's a little awkward to get in like a good gun pose, but I got him pointing pretty straight ahead, better than a lot of the First Order Stormtroopers themselves can do. And yeah, it's just a product of its time, but I really like it. If you aren't a hater, if you actually like Star Wars and therefore aren't just here to rage and shit all over the fact that I bought a sequel trilogy era figure, and if you can actually just look at it for what it is, you'll probably see that there's some cool stuff going on with the design, and if so, I recommend it, and if you think it'll look good on your shelf, then I think you should go find him. I don't think he goes for a whole lot on the third-party market. Definitely more than maybe some of the other First Order figures, but still a nice addition. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. Go check out my October 2024 Toy Hio Toy Hunt vlog. I found this at Toy Hio. It is a local toy show that is just really cool. Always find some good stuff. And it was just a nice time going and seeing some friends there. So check that video out. It's a good time. And yeah, that's it for now. Until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you. And goodbye.